and kept Stephen A. Smith. Because Max Kellerman was making Stephen A. Smith look bad. So that was 7 years ago. We're going to play what Stephen A. Smith did just the other day.
It's my quarterback. It's my team.
Stephen A. Smith, in response to a tweet that T.O. liked about something, Stephen A. got on his podcast and brought out an emotional T.O. after a game that he was being emotional about one of the players on his team. And Stephen A., being the petty bitch that he is, did this.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team.
That was Terrell Owens, former all-world NFL wide receiver, crying, being very, very protective of his quarterback at the time, Tony Romo of the Dallas Cowboys. This was before Jerry Jones exiled him from the Dallas Cowboys organization. This was as his career approached its end. Of course, he played in Cincinnati thereafter. I forgot where else. But the reality is that Terrell Owens is one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of football. As far as I'm concerned, I got him top 3. I only have Jerry Rice and Randy Moss ahead of him. He was simply that great. Never won a Super Bowl championship, was not his fault.
Don't you guys hear a butt coming? Don't you guys hear a butt coming? T.O. was this, T.O. was that, T.O. was this, T.O. was that. But don't you hear the butt coming? Ain't there's a big old butt coming?
At least I'd say that. And my diatribe, soliloquy, or whatever I'm about to go on, of course, has nothing to do with the player that Terrell Owens was, because there's nothing to question about his greatness. Nothing at all. He was simply that great, that marvelous, worthy of being a Hall of Famer, should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Never blamed him one bit for being a bit perturbed that it took 3 or 4 selections before he was ultimately entered into the Hall of Fame. But nevertheless, Terrell Owens has made news for a different reason over the years. And it all comes back to the same thing. And it involves just attitude, his issues, the kind of ways that he tries to attack people from time to time. And I was the latest victim.
You were not
now,
a victim.
In the world,
T.O. did not attack you. Stop, Stephen A. Stop the cap, bruh. He did not attack you. He liked a post on Twitter. Good. That's not an attack, bro. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it.
World of T.O., understand that word victim is never something that's appropriate for somebody else. It's always him. It's always somebody that did him wrong. So we're going to address that today. We're going to address it right now. Before I get into what I really, really, really want to say, let me backtrack and give you a little history that spans just the last 3 or 4 days. Last week, I made an appearance on the Joe Budden podcast. Joe Budden asked me to come on. Whenever I've needed him to come on my shows, he never hesitated. I always appreciated the love. He's got Melissa Ford on there with him. She's been a friend of mine for years. Girl, you done did that thing. She looked phenomenal. Way to go, girl. But I digress. And on that appearance with Joe Budden, once again, I was asked a question about my former partner on First Take, Max Kellerman, what happened, and all of this other stuff. I've been answering the question the same way for 2 years. I've got a best-selling book, Straight Shooter. I wrote about it in a book. But nevertheless, the question was asked. I answered. Before we go any further, look at what I had to say. I didn't like working with him, man. It's just that damn.
It's not that you didn't like working with him. You had to sit there and let a Hall of Fame NFL player who you are, Stephen A. is in awe of athletes. He is an athlete groupie. He's a groupie for athletes. And T.O. is no exception. And you sat there and you got embarrassed by a Hall of Fame NFL player by telling you the thing that most people thought about you at the time. And I'm not making a judgment or here nor there if the thoughts about you are correct. I'm just saying what T.O. was saying about you that the black diaspora was saying about you behind your back. Well, maybe not so quietly behind your back. And how they felt about your co-host, Max. People loved Max Kellerman on that show. And when it came to social issues, they thought you were on the wrong side of social issues. They thought you were on the wrong side of the Kaepernick issue. And a football player that you were a fan of told you something that you didn't like and you couldn't handle it. You got so mad that you even had the white boy kicked off your show. So stop it about, I just didn't like working with him. You didn't like working with him because of what T.O. did to you.
Simple. I didn't like it. I thought the show was stale.
The show was not stale. How you going to have a stale show when you're the number one sports a talk show on television? There was nothing stale about First Take at that time. Max was great to watch. Max was great to hear break down his analysis of stuff. Matt was a little crazy at times, but he was highly entertaining. Max, keep saying Matt. Max Kellerman. You got pissed the F off because people thought that Max Kellerman understood the issue way better than you.
That we had flatlined when it came to the public at large, and I'm trying to win. I mean, I didn't want to go from number one to number two when Skip left. That's not what I wasn't having that. At some point, you're gonna do what you need to do, or you don't. And if you don't do what you need to do, I'm gonna get somebody who will. When I went upstairs to management, my exact words were, "Look, if he's that important to you, give him First Take. I'll leave."
Stephen A. Stephen A.
I'm telling you what I said. ESPN made the decision that they made. They elected to keep me on First Take instead of Max Kellerman. As I've reminded people on numerous occasions, this was not 2009 where I got fired, where my contract wasn't renewed, where no one would hire me, not even BET or TV1. And I say that because obviously TV1 and BET.
What has this got to do with what you're trying to do to T.O.? What has it got to do with it? It's always about you and what you're doing and what you didn't do, your sob story, this, that, and the third. Stephen A., you, in this interview, which I'm not going to play the entire interview, in this clip on your podcast, you threatened T.O. You threatened him. And then you tried to humiliate him.
Well, networks that catered to African Americans, and even they did not hire me, and had his own afternoon show, and didn't lose a dime. So it was just a matter of people being competitive, and
I don't want to hear that.
We had a mandate to live up to that, and we couldn't pull it off. I just reached a point where I knew we couldn't live up to what the audience demanded, and didn't want to work with Kellerman on a debate show any longer. I didn't say Sports Center. I didn't say boxing. I didn't say anything but First Take, a debate show. I said we were not ideal sparring partners. That was all. Continued on page 212. For 3 years, from 2017 to 2020, there were an inordinate amount of conversations with the honchos about my and Max's lack of chemistry. Not about ratings. We were still number one. Just how uncomfortable it became watching us together because we didn't enjoy each other. I had no desire to sit around and watch First Take falter. Keep going.
First of all, no one knew that there was any problems going on at First Take because it did not come across on screen. Stephen A., you're lying. You're absolutely lying, Stephen A. You're lying. This is revisionist history.
Against Max Kellerman. I am not happy that ESPN let him go a couple of
You're lying again. You are absolutely thrilled that they let him go. You are. Stop the cap, bruh. Stop it.
And I felt the reason why was he and I, not him. He and I didn't work together. We didn't enjoy working together. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. But I'm going to tell you what is a crime. Terrell Owens sticking his nose into this equation. Because
please explain to me, Stephen A., what damn crime did T.O. commit? What crime did he commit, Stephen A.? What crime did he commit? Your arrogance knows no bound. What state, what local, state, or federal law did T.O. break? Please, I haven't seen this part, so let me hope he explains this.
He felt the need to join the conversation on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that the video that I'm about to show you is one of the greatest insults you could ever give to a black man.
Some things in life are just earned. Sorry, buddy.
But T.O., with no one talking about him, nobody bringing him up, nobody alluding to anything about him, decides on a Saturday morning, at least that's when I saw it, when I woke up, to share this old video of himself on First Take with me and Max talking about me as we were discussing the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Look at this.
Yeah, we saw it.
Get in here. Like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with his coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
Time. Wait a minute. You don't cross the line. I could have aired more because I handled the situation right there on live.
You didn't handle nothing.
First of all, what is blacker? Let's get that out the way. I could say, who are you to talk about blackness? Are you, Terrell Owens, a model of what a black man should be?
Stephen A., are you a model of what a black man should be? I mean, you are out here about to try to publicly excoriate another black man. So are you a model of what a black man should be? Are you Stephen A.? Are you saying you're the standard? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah! Well, you're not the standard, Stephen A. You're not.
Money making is my thing because I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the...
Shout Shout out to the homegirl again, Almanai. Sorry, it took me a minute to get back to the super chat, but his honesty isn't profitable for the NFL or media. No, it's not. He's dishonest. And here you go, Almanai.
These last $2.
Yeah, there you go for them last $2. And then once again, check out our homegirl. Go Grown Folks Talk with the super chat. No, with the black heart. I don't know what that means. You saying I got a black heart? You got a black heart? Is that what's coming up from the Coop clan? Is the black hearts? I'm just kidding. I know you're showing some black love, baby. Thank you, Grown Folks Talk, for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Stephen A., you're something else, bruh. And you're sitting up here, you're inferring that in order to be a model or a standard of black men, that you got to be perfect. None of us are perfect. We are imperfect in a lot of ways because we're human beings. But that's not what your intentions are with T.O. Now, just remember, a few seconds ago, you said T.O. committed a crime. Please tell me what crime T.O. committed. You still haven't told us what crime T.O. allegedly committing, other than re-bringing up the fact that you were on the wrong side of the Colin Kaepernick debate, which should not have been a debate.
I have files.
Files of what?
Here's what T.O. is not telling y'all.
This nigga, I'm sorry. This ninja was like, I got files. I got files. You the damn CIA. You got files. You got files, Stephen. Yeah, you got files on T.O. Man, hey, TLA, you a lawyer. What do you think about all of those files that Stephen A. got on T.O.?
They are amazing.
Oh my goodness, he got all of them. You got files. For real? So this is what Stephen A. saying. This is what he's saying to T.O. right now.
And we want the smoke.
Yeah, he want the smoke. I'll shut up, Stephen A., because everybody know what you are for the corporations. We know what you are, T.O. This is what you are for the corporation. Stephen A. is a thoughtsilla for the dollars. He really is. And I gotta see these files again. Let me see these files.
Because I handled the situation right there on live national television. First of all, what is blacker? Let's get that out the way. I could say, who are you to talk about blackness? Are you, Terrell Owens, a model of what a black man should be?
Yes.
I have files.
He got files, y'all. One more time. My goodness. Stephen A., you got files.
Yes. Absolutely.
You got files. Bruh, really? What's in these files, Stephen A.? Are you guys curious now to see what's in these damn files? He held up these loose people. He the CIA now. Here's
what T.O. is not telling y'all.
What ain't he telling us? What he not telling us? What do you mean you ain't gonna go there? Whoa. Time out. Stephen A., you start off by saying, here's what T.O.'s not telling you. And then you said, I'm not going to go there?
Emotional damage.
My goodness. Come on, Stephen A. Don't act like a
ho. Yeah, ho.
Don't act like one of those. Come on, Stephen A. Don't be a it ain't working. Please, Stephen A. Please don't be.
Yeah, ho. Yeah, ho.
Good Lord. So here's what Stephen A. just said. Here's what T.O.'s not telling you. Here's what he's not telling you. But I ain't gonna go there.
At the people.
So basically, he's alluding to that there's a whole bunch of trash on T.O. and he because he's being magnanimous that he's not gonna expose T.O. Do we believe that Stephen A. is not exposing T.O. out of the goodness of his heart?
Hell no. To the no.
I talk about what you do in terms of what your profession is, covering the world of sports. I don't get into your personal business. I got 30 years in the industry.
You don't get into the personal business, but you got files and files and here's, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Google me, check my resume, talk to the athletes that know me. I'm not liked by a few. I know that. Don't give a shit. I'm not here to make friends. I'm a journalist, personality, pundit. But who is Terrell Owens of all people to define blackness?
Who is Stephen A. Smith of all people to define blackness? Huh?
We want to get into who represents the black community better? You really want to have that discussion?
Absolutely. I can make the argument that T.O. is. T.O. his reputation is stellar. We're not talking about what people think about him on the football field, in the community, out in real life. T.O.'s record, T.O. name is clean. It's clean. Yours isn't, buddy. Yours isn't clean because everybody know what you are for the corporation.
Yeah, ho. Yeah, ho.
Everybody know that.
Really? I wouldn't even do that to you. I'm not going to even waste my time with that. I brought that up to point out that I was sitting there minding my own business. I answered the question that had been brought to me by Joe Budden and his team. The question was about Max Kellerman. What does that have to do with Terrell Owens? What does that have to do with him?
What does anything that you talk about or other people talk about on platforms got to do with you personally? It's called social commentary, you jackass. He's entitled to it, you jackass. He's entitled to it. And by the way, you got Max Kellerman fired because everybody understood that Max Kellerman was on the right side of the issue and you were not. You were up there on First Take being
Yeah, ho. Yeah, ho.
That's what you were being on First Take for the corporation, for the owners.
Not a damn thing. And I'm sitting up there and I immediately reacted on Twitter, which may not have been the right thing to do.
It was not the right thing to do, Stephen A. Not no may have been. It was not the right thing to do. Terrell Owens Owens with his tweet just essentially told you and everybody else why you really did not want to work with Max Kellerman anymore.
But I just felt compelled to do it. And the reason I felt compelled to do it, ladies and gentlemen, was because, number one, I know he's full of shit.
What? Whoa. What? You're saying T.O. is? So now you're blaming people. You're blaming everybody. Who else are you going to blame? The rain?
Blame it on the rain.
Come on, man. You can do better than that. Come on, Stephen A. You can do way better than that.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Come on,
But two,
man.
I know that he's starving for attention because that's the only way he might do so.
Now, I find this ironic. You sit up there saying that T.O. is starving for attention while at the same time, Stephen A., you are on TV 5 days a week and you got your own podcast here on YouTube 3 days a week, which the goal of your TV show and your podcast is for you to get attention. You're already on TV 5 days a week. Then you had to go add a 3-day-a-week podcast, and you're claiming T.O. is starving for attention? You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. TLA, what do you think about Stephen A.'s comments about the fact that he's accusing T.O. of being craving and starving for attention when he got to be on TV 5 days a week plus 3 days on a podcast? TLA, what do you think about Stephen A.'s comments on that?
They are amazing.
They are absolutely amazingly crazy. Stephen A. out here like this.
Acknowledge me.
5 days a week. That's what he out there doing. And we're not.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that one, Almond Eyes. Wasn't he the one laying up with Jalen Rose's wife? Allegedly. And here we go again, Almond Eyes.
But these last $2.
Last $2.
Every time Almond Eyes give her last $2, she seemed to find another $2. Yeah. Yeah, so he had every right to do. Absolutely, Almond Eyes. Absolutely. Good grief.
Something these days. Looking for anything to get himself attention. So, hey, I'm here to give it to you. You can have it because I'm here to help. Because God knows you need it. But I checked myself, not because of the...
You did not check yourself. You just got up here with a bunch of papers talking about you got files. We don't know what's on them papers. You up here rattling. You up here rattling papers. Talking about I got whole files. T.O. Oh my God. Stephen A. out here talking about I got whole files. I mean, just a whole bunch of files.
Absolutely.
Stephen A., I think you're suffering from a little bit of
Emotional, damn it.
Right now, you coming across like a straight up. All because you are. For the corporation, for the corporate dollar. My goodness, Stephen A., you ain't got no right to talk about nobody being no attention hound because everybody knows ain't no bigger attention hound than somebody that's on TV 5 days a week. They call them attention what?
Yeah, ho.
They call them attention hoes. Come on, Stephen A. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you this butthurt?
Ordinate amount of NFL people, in not just present players, but former players, not just the league office, but the NFL Players Association. I had calls from all over the place. Stephen, please don't do this to him. Please don't do this to him, because we all know the ammunition that's out there. I mean, my God, it's so much.
What ammunition are you talking about, Stephen A? What ammunition are you talking about? What are you doing, Stephen A? What ammunition are you talking about that's out here on TO? If you think there was anything destructive or sensational about TO, don't you think that it would have came out a long time ago? Stephen A, come on, man.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Come on, man.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that? I'm sorry, man. I wasn't thinking about it.
Stephen A, come on, bruh. Really? You think you got people begging you? T.O. came out and said, hey, whatever you got, bruh, release it. He said that. Come on with the come on.
It's a file is thick. But that's not the point.
So somebody got a file this thick on T.O. and nobody knows about it but Stephen A. Smith. Is that what you want me to believe, Stephen A? Sorry, bruh. I just can't get with that.
I want it to be decent. And Kyrie Irving, who we all know I've had my differences with, damn it, that doesn't mean he's not right. And when Kyrie Irving went out and put out this tweet right here, Stephen A, can y'all call each other like grown, mature men and clear the air without all of the extra?
Kyrie, you would have to assume that Stephen A is a mature grown man. You will have to assume that to be factual. Listen. Lord have mercy. Listen. Black men, do not take your cues on how to handle conflict with Stephen A. Smith. I was Candace Owens, who I'm not a big fan of, and I wish because I'm just now thinking about this. I wish I would have thought about this earlier last night because I would have pulled the clip. Candace Owens made a statement on a recent podcast that Black men do not know how to handle conflict. She's absolutely correct.